Okay, I'm back with another video. I'm sorry that I've been, off. This video, as you can see by the title, is salvation. And I have this little thing right here that that somebody gave me. It's this thing right here. It's called the Romans Road, and it really interested me. So I'm just gonna read it here. What is the Romans Road? Simply put, the Romans Road shows the path to heaven. It uses points from the book of Romans in the Bible to explain God's gift of salvation. At each stop, we learn something new about why we need salvation, how God has provided it and how we receive it. As you look, then there's 6 points outlined here. So I'm just going to read them. The first one is everyone needs salvation. And the verse is, for all we all have sinned, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And that's pretty straightforward. Everybody has sinned. There's going to be a lot of people that you ask them, they sinned. They're going to say they haven't sinned because they truly believe they haven't sinned. But as you can see, the 10 Commandments in the Bible, if you've lied, that's a sin. Even if you said God's name in vain, like OMG, but not oh my gosh, but you get the point. I'm not gonna say it, but understand what I mean. If you've I think puts I don't, because if you make somebody feel bad, I think that would be a sin. Like making somebody feel bad, I think that would be a sin. Any words that come out of your mouth that hurt somebody, I think that would be a sin. Lust, if you've lusted, if you looked at a woman with lust, looked at a man with lust, if you're a woman, you've looked at a man with lust, if you're a man, looked at a woman with lust, that's sin. Um, but there's a lot of things, and mm, different stuff. If you cheated on somebody and you was married, you cheated on somebody, that's a sin. Um, but we're just, I'm gonna go on to the next part. Jesus died for our salvation, but God commended his love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Romans 5:8. Um, yeah, like it says, yeah, God sent his son down to die for us. And like I said before, I fully believe that Jesus knew that, there's going to be people that persecuted him. There's going to be people that talked down on him, and there's going to be people that mocked him like there is today. And it's just, it's crazy to think that people could actually, talk bad about Jesus when they haven't really felt his presence. I mean, if you actually become a Christian and you feel his presence like I do, and you feel his presence like everybody do, you understand why we feel so happy all the time, why we live for, why we changed our life. Um, and another, I'm just going to go to, and then I'm just going to go to the next step. Salvation is a gift. The wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord. Romans 6:23. Like this says, um, there's either two choices, in life. There's either two choices. You can become a Christian, you can God can become your personal Lord and Savior, you can invite Jesus into your heart, or you can just continue to do what you're doing right now, which is sinning, partying. Yeah, I mean, you can continue to do that, and after you die, you know, after you die, it's obvious, there's only there's only two places you're gonna go. Either two places you're gonna go. You're either gonna go to heaven or hell. Um, and you're gonna stay there for eternity. I mean, it's not you're gonna stay there. One of them two places you're gonna stay there for eternity. And eternal life, I would rather everybody wanted to go to heaven, but that's not I can't make that decision for them. I force that down their throat. And I feel like us Christians, well, not most of us, not really most of us, not all of us, but that's why Christians have got a bad name. And because there's some Christians that try to force Christ down the other people's throats. And I just, want to be nice to them. I want to show them that I care about them. I love them. And then, if you show that to them, then they're gonna start questioning themselves. Like, why? How is he changed? Like, how is, why does what makes him love us so much? And that's what I want people to see. I want people to see Christ in me. Here's the next part one for we are saved by grace, and if by grace, then it is no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. Um, so I'm just going to go to the next part. This is five. Salvation comes through faith. To him that believeth on him that justifies the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness. Romans 4:5, and then 6. God saves all who call upon him. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Romans 10:13. Um, and that's just simple right there. I mean, if you call upon the Lord and you confess with your mouth that Christ is risen, Christ is Lord, and you just ask God to forgive you of your sins, and he'll forgive you because he forgives everybody. He forgives everybody. Um, yeah, he forgives everybody. Like I said, he forgives everybody. You know, me personally, but when I became a Christian, I was dealing with, cussing. I was cussing all the time. I had to ask God to forgive me, and sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes something does slip out, a cuss word, and I ask God to forgive me, and I feel like He forgives me and stuff. Um, but different stuff, I feel like if you come to God as like with a porn addiction, if you come to God with anything, I feel like he'll forgive you if you actually mean it. Like I said, there was just one girl that I think I said this before. There's just one girl that said, "Well, if God forgives everybody, then why can't you just continue to keep on doing it and then ask God to forgive you?" I don't believe, I believe that because when you become a Christian, you're supposed to forget the old ways, turn from your old ways. Uh, sometimes you might mess up along the road, but I think it's important to ask God to forgive you, and He will forgive you. But if you're just like, oh, God forgives me all the time, like I'm just gonna have a few drinks might turn into 5, 6, and then you just ask Him to forgive. I don't, He'll forgive you, but it's just like you have to turn from them ways, and it's just like um also there is like something coming up that I don't really know why they passed the law back in 2014. Next month is what they call Pride Month or something. Um, and a lot of people, I don't try to stay away from that topic. I'm not gonna just, you know, somebody asked me if that's a sin. I'm not gonna lie to them and say no, it's not, because it's a sin. It says plainly in the Bible that gayness is a sin. And also, there's like I feel like because with me personally, I used to watch see I don't know because like when I watch wrestling, there's like a lot of there's like a no, but it's not nudity, but it's just like the women. Yeah. With me, um before I became a Christian, um I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of hatred. Like I've said before, I had a lot of hatred in my heart. I've had, I've, One time, I really haven't said this before, but there was one point that I thought, I drove somebody to kill themselves, and I don't think it wasn't my fault, but that's what I felt like it was. He just he was just going through stuff, and I really wasn't there for him. I feel like, we got on the wrong foot, and I really wasn't there for him. I feel like I could have been there for him more. So that's why, I'm always try to be there for people. If I've wronged them before, I always forgive them. If I always ask for forgiveness, if they've wronged me, I always forgive them. But sometimes, it is hard to forgive somebody. And they say, how can you forgive somebody if somebody did this to you and did that to you? It is I can say that it's hard to forgive somebody. Me personally, I've been through some stuff, going to foster home, and the guy there wasn't very, nice to me. He was abusive toward me, calling me names and stuff. Um Making me, there was just different stuff, and then there's different people that was making fun of me. Um, my name is Tay. My name is Tay, and it rhymes with people are saying it rhymes with gay. They was calling me gay, and that really hurt my feelings. But I just, I didn't want to act like it hurt my feelings because I didn't, um, and it was hard to forgive people. And I realized that them people that I was around wasn't Christians, so like I said, they wasn't Christian, so I just turned away from them, and I just, I try to make friends that are Christians because I don't want to be brought into that stuff again. I don't want to be brought into sin again. And me personally, there was a lot of stuff, this is a story that, I feel like I should tell it because, this is a story of me. Um, when I was not a Christian, I admit that, I had sex. Um, After that, it was unprotected, so, I was kind of scared. And I was not a Christian at the time. I felt like, if she left me, when she left me and cheated on me with somebody else, I was hurt. I was hurt by her. I was hoping that she would never find anybody else because, I was hurt. Um, but what I prayed to God was I wasn't a Christian at that, but I knew there was a God. But what I prayed to God, it was, you know, I wish I didn't pray that to God, but I prayed that, she'd have a miscarriage. And as I look back on that, if I didn't come to Christ when I did, I felt like, I would just be in jail. I would have ended up in jail for murdering somebody because the hatred I had, it was really bad. The hatred I had, different people, the foster parents, different people I had, it was just bad. But through the grace of God, I'm different. I'm changed. And that's what I want people to see, that nothing in this world can change you. But if you become a Christian and you get God in your heart, that changes you completely. And I've seen different people go down a dark road of drugs, addiction, and it's really sad to think that they would rather choose, something materialistic over God. Because me personally, I would choose God 100% because what He's done for me, what He's done for my family, He's done for the people around me. It's just amazing. And me posting stuff on Facebook, me posting this on YouTube, it's really, changed a lot of people's lives. Somebody came back to Christ hearing my testimony, and that's really what I want to happen. I really want people to see my testimony, what I've went through, and see that I've changed my life, and they can they can too. People can change their life. You go to rehab to get through a drug addiction, but it's just like I don't really think, drugs can I don't think rehab can help you because just like I've heard people come out of rehab, they've they've come out of rehab and they try to get better and they try to keep clean, but it's just like that really don't help them. And I feel like the only thing that can help you is to come to Christ, and He will help you along the way. Although you might want, and although it might not be when you want it, it might be a couple months, you know. But if you come to Christ and ask God to strengthen you to get over that addiction, He's going to help you. Nobody, no drugs, no rehab can help you. Um, Nothing can help you. And talking about drugs again, you know, it was like last year in August. That was the first time I ever, touched any drugs. It was weed. That was the last time I any touched it, but I wasn't smoking it consistently. Um, so I really wasn't addicted to it. But I get to thinking, addiction, like I was thinking the other day, I really think like when they say we're addicted to it, I feel like nobody really has an addiction. I mean, it's just you choose that, and it's just like people choose to do it every day. I mean, I don't think it's easy to quit drugs if you've done it for a long time. But like if you have Christ, you can ask Him to help you. Like I said before, you can ask Him to help you. But it's just like people choose to do stuff. No, I don't like cigarettes either. I said, I used to smoke cigarettes before I was Christian. When I first came a Christian, I was still smoking cigarettes. But I got to thinking, am I just smoking these because I like smoking them, or am I just smoking these because I'm stressed out? And I felt like if I was stressed out, I felt it's just not even good to smoke cigarettes. If you're stressed out, you can just come to Christ, ask Him to help you with the stress. And I haven't even touched a cigarette since like last May or June. I mean, I just don't do that stuff. The only thing, I don't really drink that much. I don't even drink anymore. I mean, in the Bible, it says you can drink of moderation, but it's just like I don't drink because it's like I know that alcohol has, it's ruined a lot of people that family that I've seen, a lot of people that, I know it's ruined their lives. And I just don't touch that because I don't want to be getting addiction like them. So I just stay off that stuff. I just stay off that stuff. And also, tattoos. Um, I know most people, they have it. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's mostly due to like I think, younger people, I think it's mostly like peer pressure. Come on, let's smoke this, man. It ain't gonna hurt you. Um, and it's just not cool to smoke. I feel like that's why I started smoking because I've seen other people I didn't start smoking until I was 18. So it's just, but I've seen other people smoking and I thought it was cool. And I can 100% tell you that smoking is not cool. Drinking is not cool. If you want to get somebody's attention, I don't feel like if you want to be a cool kid, I don't feel like that's being a cool kid. I just feel like that's being dumb. Smoking cigarettes, doing drugs. I just feel like that's being dumb. That's just smoking hurts your lungs. Um, doing drugs, damages your brain. So it's just, and then, drinking damages your liver, kidney, something like that. Yeah, it just hurts your body in the long run. It's not being cool. Um, but us younger kids, they see all these, they see all these cool kids doing that, and then they want to do it. I feel like, and then, probably the parents too, because honestly, there is some parents that, are not a good role model to their kids. I think if you become a parent, I think the best thing to do is raise your kid in church. As if they don't want to go, I mean, it's just, if they don't want to go, I think it's just better if they get raised in with Christ instead of getting raised by this world, because this world it messes a lot of families up. This world is just mm, and like I said with tattoos, I don't feel like I know there's a bunch of people that get tattoos. Me personally, I don't feel like getting tattoos is me personally because I feel like I'm just getting a tattoo because somebody else is, somebody else has a tattoo, and I just, I don't want to get a tattoo. So I'll just stay away from that stuff. I would rather, do something else than to get a tattoo. Um, like go to church, worship God, and stuff like that. I wouldn't want to do something just because I've seen somebody doing it, or buying something, keeping up with the Joneses. I just wouldn't want to do that. So basically, I think obviously there is some things that I should tell. I feel like I try to be, helpful to everybody that I can be. I've been through depression like before, so I know how people feel when they're depressed. I know they want somebody to talk to. Um, but I feel like when I'm always sad now, I just, pray to God, and I just pray to God to make, help me through this time, to help me through this difficult time. And it might not happen when I want it to happen. And and I completely understand that. Like from now on, I pray if it's God's will. Like if I want something, I pray if it's God's will, because I want to be like, well, just give me this and give me that. And then if yeah, you're right. Um, Me personally, um, I used to listen to a lot of secular music, like you know, for example, Polo G, Juice World. I feel like all they talk about is drugs, and it's just like I don't listen to that stuff anymore. I just listen to basically, well, that's all I really listen to is Christian music now, contemporary music, Christian gospel music. Um, 'Cause it just got some better, meaning to it. I mean, I don't want to listen to a song that always talks about drugs and this and that. And that's the reason that kids have been doing what they do. Kids and, younger, teens, kids, they listen to, this music, like Juice World, Polo G, different stuff like that. And they listen to that music, and whatever they hear in that music, if they hear like a cuss word, because kids, like I said, if they whatever they hear, they'll say, whatever they hear, they'll do. And if they, so if they hear something in a song about killing somebody, I mean, I don't, I feel like, or a gun, I feel like a kid's gonna obviously want to touch a gun. I feel like a kid's gonna, but it's just a kid because they're little, and we got to be careful what we do around them. And me personally, that's why I just be wholesome around kid. I'll be wholesome around anybody. Really, I'm a family friendly person. I'm not gonna be, one day I'm not gonna be in church, and then the next day you catch me out here smoking. I mean, you catch me out here like cussing and stuff and talking vulgar. I'm not that kind of guy. I know there probably might be some Christians that do that, but I'm not that kind of guy. I will be wholesome around anybody any time of day. Um, but yeah, and also there is some shows on Netflix that is crazy. It's crazy. There's a show on Netflix called Big Mouth. I was watching it before I was a Christian, and it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's basically the show is about nudity, but it's like kids that's in like middle school, but it's like animated. But I'm like, yo, why? I mean, I think to myself, why do they put stuff? Why does Netflix, why does everybody put like these movies on here like sex, um, and like cussing? I mean, honestly, I don't know why they put movies like that. I don't understand. I don't understand. That's what people want to see. I get it, but like it's just like I feel like there is Christian movies out there. But it's just like when I try to find Christian movies, there's like few on Netflix. I mean, there's like more secular movies and secular shows on Netflix than there is like movies, like Christian movies. And it's just crazy that the world we live in now has basically wanted to, I don't have anything against like secular movies. Like I don't care to sit down and watch like a good action movie. But it's just like if it has too much sex in it, like that's just crazy. I don't think you have to put like a sex scene in a movie like every 2 minutes. Like that's why I don't watch romantic movies because they like put sex scenes in every, it's just, and I don't think you have to do that. Um, but I think that's just ridiculous. Um, but there, I've watched, I usually just like, I usually just watch like, I watch The Chosen. There's a bunch of other Christian movies. That there, like Do You Believe? There's a bunch of Christian movies. Um, me personally, um, because I've watched. Well, I know many people, but I've watched anime before. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. I feel like if you like, you don't lust after it, because the women they do, some anime do put the women as like with big breast. Yeah, so it's crazy. Me personally, I don't lust after that stuff. Um, I've been meaning to watch like I don't know if it's a good anime or not. I don't know if it has like too much like, you know, I don't know if it has like too much nudity or sexual content or whatever. But I've been meaning like Netflix, they do got One Piece. It's a One Piece. I don't know if they, have any sexual content. I would want to like watch an anime that don't have too much sexual content. Like maybe just like very slim. Um, like 'cause I don't want to be brought into that nudity because, like I said, it's like when you get caught up in porn, it's very difficult to get through. It's very difficult to get what is it? Very difficult to overcome that getting that caught in porn because porn is serious. Like people might not think that you know watching watching a porn video is serious, but it's serious. It's serious because you get to you get to seeing all this stuff like nudity and you get to sing it and you probably will like and but there's people that will like it and you would get up to end up say I'm gonna watch it again. Yeah, it's serious. That's why I just stay away from like shows that show nudity and stuff. So basically what I wanted to say is there's another Bible verse that goes with this Roman roads that I've been talking about salvation. If thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord Jesus, and shall believe in thine heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. That's Romans 10 verses 9 and that's Romans 10 verses 9 and 10. And like I said, if there's first God has to convict you. Like when I went to church, he convicted me, but I was too afraid because there's like a lot of people there. So I was too afraid. Um, then one Wednesday, because I remember it clear as day, the song came up, like it was the altar call. The song came up and said I had decided to follow Jesus. And I just felt like, I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna give my heart to the Lord. And it's just like ever since I've did that, I've just felt like immediate joy, like all the time, peace, all the time. And I was raised foster, like I said, the foster home that I was raised in was Christian people, but it's just like they was always like abusive. Well, I wouldn't say the woman was abusive, but the man was abusive. They would pit me against. They would pit me against, my birth mom and dad. They would pit me against, my family. They would pit me against my sisters and brothers. Like my sisters and brothers would always call me names too, and that wasn't in their nature, to do. They wouldn't call me names just because, like, they wouldn't call me names just because. They never called me names. Like we was always close. Um, and it was them, and um, But, I finally realized, laying after bed laying, laying down every night before I became a Christian, wondering if I'm gonna die tonight, wondering, if I'm going to wonder if I die, I'm gonna go. I already knew where I was gonna go. I was gonna go to hell. Um, so I feel like, what I've always said is I feel like if God didn't put me in that foster home, I would have, never known Jesus. I would have never learned about Jesus. So I feel like that was his plan. I feel like Jesus everything is for a plan with Jesus. So I feel like although, there's some tough moments in that foster home, I feel like Jesus put me in that foster home just so I could know who he was and get to know him. Um and I'm thankful, that I did give my life over to the Lord, and I just pray that I can be a witness to other people, and I can, tell them about Jesus, and that they will, see Christ in me, and then, see that I've changed for the better. And I just, I want everybody, to become a Christian. I really want this whole world to become a Christian. And I don't feel like that's too far fetched. I don't feel like that's not going to happen. I feel like it's going to happen. Um, yeah, you're right. You're right. And for me, when I first became a Christian, like I said, God took some people out of my life. I was hurt that they was took out of my life, but I realized that, they wasn't really the best people that was, they wasn't a good influence toward me. Like I had one friend that she was, like I said, she was just I'm not gonna say her name because it's just like I don't, but she was always talking like vulgar, she was always talking like stuff like that. And I felt like if I kept on continuing to talk to her, it would have been like I would have fell back into that. So, she stopped talking to me, and which is a good thing. I haven't even, talked to her after that. Um, then, I had another friend that, I thought, she was in the same country, I mean, state as me. So I thought, we was talking for a little while, and I thought basically what I thought is I thought that we had something, I thought she liked me. I liked her. I thought she liked me. 'Cause I was, she was laughing a lot. We didn't meet each other. We just met each other like on FaceTime, FaceTime and stuff. We talked on the phone, but we didn't really meet each other. I don't even know if she wanted to meet me because I was like, do you wanna, she had like a 4th of July thing at her, what is it called? She had a 4th of July thing in her thing, and I was gonna go to it, but I don't feel like she wanted me to go. And then I figured out that, she was like, pretending to be a boyfriend to this guy. But she was pretending to be a boyfriend to this guy because there's another guy, like, bothering her, and she didn't tell me, and then she was like but, like, now I feel like, I'm sorry. She said, "I'm sorry I didn't tell you that," but she said, "Now I have feelings for him now," and, I'll admit that, I was hurt a lot, uh and I feel like I couldn't be friends with her because I just feel like it'd be awkward. I tried to be friends with her, but it's just like I was always wondering why she did this to me, so I just didn't do it. So me personally, I realized that, I always, I always realize that what I don't have, I'm still grateful for it. I mean, I'm not rich, and I'm still grateful for that. I don't want to I mean, if I was rich, I would probably, I would give stuff to, I would help the poor, but I'm not, and I'm still grateful for that. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I wish I was rich." I don't know, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna, go against God and say, "Well, I'm not rich." I it don't, I'm not, I'm grateful for, what I've went through, what I'm having to overcome, and I know that there's gonna be storms in my life, and there's gonna be stuff I have to overcome. Like, people still, there's still people out there that Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, you do got to cut people out of your life. Definitely. Um, like I said, I don't see when I was playing video games, I really don't play video games that much. Because it's just like when I play video games, it's just not, it's just like there's always people on the game. Like it don't matter what game you play. It's just like there's always people on the game that always try to make you mad. They always try to make you angry. They troll you, and it's just I don't play it anymore. I used to play with friends before I became a Christian. I used to play, but they was always like, you know, talking vulgar, and they was just like toxic a lot. So I just didn't play with them. I just don't play with them anymore. I just don't play games anymore, video games anymore, because I don't want that them video games to take over my life and stuff. Because before I was a Christian, like honestly, I think it was like 18, 19, 20. I'm not for sure because like before I was a Christian, I was playing games all day almost. Like I would stay up. I don't know, but I was playing the games a lot. Like I was letting it take over my life. And now, I still play video games. It's not like I mean, I really don't play that. I just play like basketball, and it's just like probably like probably like an hour. Maybe not even that. Maybe like an hour. Maybe like a few hours a week. I don't even know because I really don't have time to play video games now because with different stuff going on, you really don't have when you get older, you really don't have time to play video games. Um, if you play, you really don't have time to play video games. So I really don't have time for that anymore. I just, and me personally, I just what I do is I just like listen and worship music more than I play video games. Um, because like I said, I've tried to find video games that are Christian video games, and they really don't have no Christian video games. It's just like GTA, killing people in a video game. I'm like, I get to thinking I don't play them games anymore because what happens if I don't because it's just like I don't know because just not there's just not good. It's just not I don't because it's I just don't think it's a good thing to do is play video game. But if you can control it, yeah, I mean it's cool. I can control it, but um yeah, but it's crazy because the video games like GTA, it's not a good influence toward playing it. Um, so we got to watch what we put in our what we put in our body. We got to watch. Oh, and also there is what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, there is sometimes that I just want to say this. There's sometimes that people feel like that they're not as close to God as they want to be. Um, but I just realized a couple of days ago that this came in my mind. You're always close to God if you got a Bible. You just open the Bible up and you're close to God. And because that's God's words right there. Many people feel like they need to get closer to God. I mean, you just read the Bible more. Read the Bible more. Listen to worship music more. If you're listening to, if you're listening to, rap music, well, you can listen to Christian rap. I don't. Hovey, I listen to him sometimes. He's good. I listen to KB. They're good Christian rap. If you ever want to listen to Christian rap, Lecrae. Um, but I feel like if you're a Christian and you listen to rap music that is secular and that has cussing in it, I just feel like you need to cut that out. I just feel like you need to listen to worship music, Christian rap. I feel like if Christian rap's not for you, there's always like you can always listen to like worship music other than that. Like like Elevation Worship, they got some good songs. Upbeat songs. If you want to listen to upbeat songs, there's like Elevation Worship. Yeah. So I feel like we need to put. There's like I feel like us Christians, not just me, instead of like watching like. Well, I mean, you can watch. I'm not going to say that you can't watch action movies, but I feel like there is some times where we should be watching, different stuff like Christian movies, and stuff like Christian movies, yeah, and Christian TV shows like The Chosen. It's a good TV show to watch. It's really heart touch. Heart. It touches your heart. It really does. Um, yeah, there's like good movies out there. There's Christian movies. So basically, all I want to say is that you know when I first became a Christian, I went to church and I had long hair back then. Uh, like it was really long. And I was thinking, because I know in the Bible, I knew the Bible when I was not a Christian, but I knew in the Bible that it said that that guys was not supposed to have their hair long. Um, so I was kind of worried that, that the church is going to judge me because I have long hair and they're going to say I'm a hippie and they're going to say I'm this and that. And I was, worried about that they wouldn't look at me as who I am. But that's not what happened. If you ever feel like that, that's just the devil telling you that. That's just the devil telling you any way to get you out of the church. And there is, that's a good song. Yeah, I like that song too. Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah, I like that song. I think I heard that song. Yeah, I think I heard that song when I went. I was like 14, 15. I heard that song when I was like in Bible camp, and there was like but there was like one Bible camp that I went to that they allowed somebody to cuss. Um, and I'm feeling like because I was not a Christian at that time, but I was raised in the Christian foster home. I was raised in that. So I was feeling like, I was feeling like if this is Christian, Bible camp, like, why is he cussing? Like, because I knew that you was, as a Christian, it says, do not let any filthiness come out of your mouth. Do not let any hurtful words come out of your mouth. So I really understood that, that means that cussing, and it says do not curse. But for the longest time, I was just thinking when I was not a Christian, I was just thinking maybe that doesn't mean that. Maybe, it means something else like a witch or something, or, something like that, maybe a curse like that. But I started to realize that that's what it meant. Because every time when I became a Christian, if I accidentally said a cuss word, I felt guilty. So I felt like, cussing is not right to do. I just don't feel like it fulfills what God has planned for you. I just don't feel like it does. Because I just don't feel like if you was a Christian, if you're a Christian and you go to church and you're praising God 1 minute, and then like you get out of church and you immediately like start cussing and you start your old lifestyle again, I just don't feel like you can call yourself a Christian. And I just don't. That's why I started looking at myself up and down. And it's just like, what am I going to have to change so that I become I'm a Christian, not necessarily a great Christian, because you can't be a great Christian or perfect Christian. But I wanted to become a Christian so people could look at me and see Christ in me, and they can see I've changed, and they can see I'm not just doing this because I want to get something out of this. And that's, obviously there is something I want to get out of it. I want to go to heaven. That's all I want to do. I want to go to heaven. I want to encourage people. I want to, feel God's presence, but I don't want to get like nothing. So I became a Christian because God convicted my heart. It took me longer than what it was supposed to. I feel like that it took me longer than what it's supposed to, but I feel like you can, you're never too young to you're never too young to become a Christian. People is going to tell you that 10 years old, if you're 10 years old, they're going to tell you that you're too young to become a Christian. and you're not. You're not too young to become a Christian. Anybody, any age can become a Christian. Um, I often, watch stuff on TikTok and stuff that motivates me, stuff that keeps me, um, stuff. TikTok, they've really gotten to the point where it's like they got some good stuff on there still, but I watch Christian stuff, but TikTok is just like I don't know. It started off as like a child's thing, like children coming on there and like dancing and stuff. But I feel like more like lately, as of lately, it's turned into something that different. It's turned into something for like adults and stuff, like which is usually what happens in that stuff. But basically, I just use TikTok to motivate me. And I seen something that motivated me. Because when I accidentally mess up or accidentally, mess up, I ask God to forgive me, but I immediately feel like I just keep on messing up. Like, and I put myself down a lot. But this guy, he said that if we mess up, we keep on climbing the mountain, the spiritual mountain, or, keep on climbing the mountain and we're going to fall down the mountain, but we keep on climbing it. And that encouraged me a lot. And I realized that I'm not gonna be perfect. I know I'm not a perfect Christian, and no Christian can actually say they're perfect. Uh, we're gonna mess up. Christians are gonna mess up, just like people mess up sometimes. Just like just like sinners mess up. That's what I was trying to say. Um, but yeah, we're gonna mess up. And anybody that tells you that they're not gonna mess up, yeah, there is. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there is so many kids on there now, like really young, like probably I don't know. I don't really, I don't I've seen like stuff on there like they're young. Um, but I really don't watch that stuff. It's just like and it's just like honestly, like I'm not saying how to raise your kids or nothing, like I'm parents, but honestly, like you got 16-year-olds on there, like honestly, and like they're in bikinis and stuff, like, I don't and they're in, like, scandalous clothes. I don't or, like, they're in, like, stuff. I don't feel like you should let your kids wear that if they're that young. I don't feel like you should do that. Like, I'm not trying to tell I mean, that's what I feel like, and that's what Hi. Hi, Damien. Um, yeah, but TikTok, it's wild now. It's just crazy. Um, like, I mean actually, that's why I just stopped going. Like when I was trying to find a girlfriend, I was going on dating apps and it was actually crazy. Like I think I was like 20 cuz I'm 23 now. So I was like 20 when I was on dating apps and I was trying to find like people my age. People my age. There's like this one girl that said she was like 18. So I was like, I was sure she was 18. No, she was 16. So it's just like you got to be careful you got to be careful what you're on now because you could obviously look at somebody and there's some women I'm not gonna lie, like there's some girls out there that you could probably think is like 18 but they're not. I think they want you to think they're 18 but they're not, so they lie. There's a lot of girls out there that lie and say they're 18. But that's why at dating websites, I just don't get on that anymore. Because it's just like there's a bunch. It's like people's taking over it, trying to get a boyfriend that's older than them, and it's just crazy. Um, so I just like when I was first on TikTok, I admit that was like when I was not a Christian. My TikTok was a lot like it was scandalous stuff. I'm not gonna lie, it was scandalous stuff. But now, as of lately, my TikTok for you page is like Christians. It's just Christians talking about like God and stuff. That's what I like, I don't, but I don't really, if I'm going to watch something, I go to YouTube because it's just like you can obviously type in what you want to watch and you don't have to see that stuff. Like I was scrolling through TikTok and there was this woman that was breastfeeding. I'm not gonna say that that's wrong to do, but it's just like when you're showing your whole breast and you're literally showing your whole breast, like she was literally showing her breast, and it's like her, and it's just like crazy. I mean, I feel like you can do that without showing your whole breast, out, but they do put a lot of, they do put a lot of stuff on TikTok now, like women, like girls, they dance to like different stuff. Like there's a lot of young kids that dance to like that new song by like I think it was like little well it was like one of them songs like I don't they dance to like rap music that they probably know. It's just I just don't get on TikTok that much anymore. It just changed a lot. Same with I think well, Twitter, obviously, it's changed. I don't have Twitter. I don't. Twitter, you can actually look up porn on Twitter. Or like, I just don't get on that. And then also, there is this also things that I've, been watching. No, I've not been watching, but I've been looking at it. Well, I've been looking at it. Well, before I was a Christian, I seen it. That's what I meant to say. I haven't been watching it because obviously I don't look at that stuff. But before I was a Christian, I seen it. It was going around like the pandemic, I think. OnlyFans. And like I don't know why, these girls, are doing this, selling their self for money, uh, when there's better jobs to do. I mean, literally better jobs to do. I understand, they think, that they can get all this money. Yeah, you're right. Twitter, yeah, it is toxic. Yeah. Also, Reddit. Well, was it Reddit? Yeah, it's Reddit. Yeah, Reddit is. I don't know. Reddit, you can like literally not safe for work. I think that's what they call it. I don't know, but you can like literally look up stuff like that from what I've heard and from what people has told me, and it's just crazy. Um, yeah, there's a lot of apps websites out there that is just toxic and not really good. I would say. Um, Facebook. I mean, if I get on Facebook, it's just like I post stuff about God and stuff. I really don't get on Facebook too long. Um, because usually when I did get on Facebook, there would be a lot of people arguing. And I do get on Facebook and I try to scroll through stuff, and there's a lot of people arguing and saying dumb stuff, and I don't know. It's just there's a lot of people on there that want to be toxic on there. So I don't. And then on Facebook, you also got to watch because people hack your Facebook and they can like do different stuff and yeah. Snapchat, yeah, it's about the same. I mean, well, it's not really. I don't think it's toxic because, like, no, I don't think it's toxic. But it's just like there's on there that do scandalous stuff and promotes different stuff. But yeah, and then yeah, there's like a lot of like I said, there's like a lot of toxic apps. For me personally, when I was playing games, there's like a lot of toxic games. I was playing when I was in a Christian, I played like Red Dead Redemption. That's a toxic game because like me personally, I I don't play games that make me angry. I try to stay away from games that make me angry. So if I would play a game like that, but if it would always make me angry and stuff. And in the Bible it says be angry and sin not. well, it says be angry and sin not. So you're allowed to be angry if you're a Christian, but it's just you can't sin. So what I would always do if I was angry, because you got like on the game, there's people that always run up to you and kill you for no reason. I would always get mad about that. And I honestly, before I was Christian, I would cuss him out and I would say I would say some pretty mean things to him. So I just stay away from that game personally for me. Um, like I said, I do play basketball. I play some action games too, but it's just like I play mostly like I don't play multiplayer. I play like mostly like single player because like when you're playing games, I've heard that there's like some games that are more toxic than others, like Valorant. I don't I don't really like that game because I've seen like people play it, but what I've seen is it's very toxic. So and also, there is see when there's a streamer that I watch on YouTube. He's not like literally the best streamer, I would say. He's not really wholesome. Um, but I see like different kids watching, like little kids. Like I mean like 8, 9-year old kids literally watching this guy and he's cussing and he's saying pretty vulgar stuff. And I don't and then their parents allow that. Like I'm like, what? Like you're allowing your kids to watch this guy that's saying vulgar stuff, saying this stuff, and you're allowing him to watch it, and you're even encouraging this. Like I was watching him have like a shopping stream the other day, because I watch him. I don't watch him that much as I used to. I try to stay away from him because But for me personally, I don't watch it if I have a little kid in the room. Like if I have like I say, if my cousin comes up, well, I mean, if I was like having a kid in the room or like, I was babysitting or something like that, I mean, I'm not gonna like put that on and watch it. That's not what I'm gonna do. Um, but for parents to actually let your kids watch something like somebody talking vulgar, somebody talking, disrespecting women and stuff, I don't agree with that. I feel like parents, you should watch what your kids watch. If that guy that he's watching on YouTube is not encouraging the kids, I don't feel like you should be letting him watch that. I really don't. For me personally, if I ever have kids, I'm not going to let them watch that. And I feel like YouTube, there is a lot of people on there that actually have children as their fan base. But it's just like if they have children as a fan base, there's a lot of people that do wholesome stuff. But this guy has children as fan base, and he does this stuff, and he still does it. He knows he has children as fan base, but he still does this. He continues to be a bad influence to kids. And I feel like he shouldn't be doing that. So like that guy said, yeah, parents should watch what their kids. They should watch what their kids are watching. And like I said, there is a show that I've watched. Well, that while I was watching 2017, I think it was like, there's a show. It's called. I don't know if anybody's seen it or not. It's called The Loud House. Literally, the show. I thought it was a good show. I mean, when I first seen it, I thought it was a good show. I thought, well, this is a good show. This is a good kids show. But it was showing a man. It was showing this guy. He had 2 dads. And from what for what they was calling each other on the show, it's animated though. But from what they was calling each other on the show, they was gay. So I feel like why, if gay is a sin, and it is a sin, and it's would you be like promoting that on like a kids show, you know? And then you got like another show, and this is Nickelodeon. Then you got another show on Nickelodeon that is that has like a transgender as like an actor. So basically what Nickelodeon is doing is like, oh, it's okay if you feel like you're not, a boy, you can change into a girl. And that's just completely not true. I know people don't really like to some people don't like this topic at all. Like if you say, being transgender or being gay is a sin, they don't like it because they think it's like, well, if you loved somebody for true who they truly are, even if it's your own gender, it shouldn't be a sin. But literally, it says in the Bible that being gay is an abomination to God. So but honestly, I feel like if you, don't get me wrong here, I feel like if you are gay and you come to God and you still mess up and you ask God to forgive you and you ask God to help you, um, God to help you, you can still become a Christian even if you're gay. I don't feel like, but you cannot continue to do what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You cannot continue to keep on doing what you're doing without asking God to forgive you. But you cannot continue. What I'm trying to say is you cannot continue to do it and just expect God to forgive you. Well, God's going to forgive you every time. That's what I mean. But we can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to do this sin and God's going to forgive me. So if God's going to forgive me, if you accidentally mess up, okay. But just don't continue. But what I say is just don't continue to keep on doing it, even though you know it's wrong. Even though you say, "Oh, God, forgive me," so I'm just going to keep on doing it because He's going to forgive me every time. And about transgender, I feel like I don't really say this a lot, and I should. But if God made you as a boy or a girl and you was born a boy or a girl, that's what you're supposed to be. Your gender's not supposed to change no matter what. And even if you try to change your gender, you really can't change your gender. I mean, you're still going to be a boy. Even if you try to become a girl, you're still going to be a boy. And like I said, also on TikTok, you also got to watch this. I was scrolling through some stuff. I was scrolling through some stuff on TikTok, and I came along this man who is a transgender, but he changed himself into a woman, but he's a transgender, and he's up here saying that you can be transgender, all that. Obviously there is on there. You also got to be careful. Wolves in sheep's clothing. You also got to be careful with that. And then on Facebook, there's a gay church that believe like gays are loved by God, and they are loved by God. Yeah, gay people are loved by God. But he doesn't say he don't say that that's all right to do, because I've always been taught that it's not Adam and Steve, it's Adam and Eve. So I mean, and I feel like that. I mean, even if it didn't say it in the Bible, but it does say gay. It does say gay. Sleeping with if you're a man, sleeping with a man is an abomination. But I've read the whole Bible, but I still know that there's no like men or men sleeping together, or women and women sleeping together in the Bible. It's just mainly, it's men and women. And Yeah, and I believe, some people think, well, I was born gay. There's no way I can change. There's no way God can help me. But there is. Like I said before, there was a guy in the Bible called Saul. And he used to, before he became a Christian, he used to kill Christians. So he used to kill Christians, but he saw the light of God. He became a Christian, forgiven him of his sins. So like I said, you can be forgiven of sin. You can be forgiven. But they also, they say, they say there's a sin, blasphemy of the Holy Ghost. So mocking God, saying that you're God, and stuff like that. I just, there's a lot of people out there that do that, and there's a lot of rappers out there that do that, like Lil Nas X. I've seen that. Um, I think the baby, or whatever his name is, the baby, or I don't even know his name. Real, I think it might be the baby. I don't know, but there's a lot of people out there that mainstream music, secular music, they mock God, and I don't know why they do it. I don't know if they feel like they look cool doing that. I don't know. And I've seen a lot of people mock God, like boxers. Here recently, I think it was like 2 years ago or a year ago, Conor McGregor. I used to be a big fan of him. Like, I used to like him. I used to watch him. I used to be a big fan of Conor McGregor. But after he said that he could knock out Jesus, I was like, no. I'm like, I'm not a big fan of you anymore. Like, if you're gonna sit here and you're gonna mock God, like, I'm not a big fan of you anymore. Like, I still, don't get me wrong, like, I love everybody and I love him as, because I'm a Christian, I'm supposed to love everybody, so I love him, because I'm a Christian. But it's just like I don't watch him anymore because I just don't I just don't want to watch something and then him say that. Like him say he can knock out Jesus Christ. That's mocking God. And then I was watching another boxer, uh, Tyson Fury. Yeah, what way he says, like he says stuff about God. So and he encourages people, and he talks to people and saying that Jesus is the only way into heaven, which he's not lying. Jesus is the only way into heaven. Jesus, becoming a Christian, Jesus is the key to heaven. Without Jesus, you're not going to get into heaven. Um, and then, there's a lot of people out there that mock God. There's a lot of people like you could, and then, there's a lot of people out there. For the longest time, I was thinking that Kanye West changed his life. But like, I don't know, because I don't know. I feel like, for the longest time, I thought Kanye West changed his life and became a Christian. Because he was having like Sunday services or whatever. I don't know what that was. Like a few years ago, he's having like Sunday services, but then he like changed having it. I don't know. It was, yeah, but there's a lot of people out there that can lead you astray. Um, they can tell you different stuff and lead you astray. And me personally, I don't do that stuff. I mean, I tell it how it is, and if I say something on here that you don't like, I mean, the simple fact is, you don't have to watch me. So if you think that being gay is not a sin, I mean, you don't have to watch me. I'm just saying the truth. I'm just saying the truth because there's a lot of Christians out there that sugarcoat the Bible for you, and they sugarcoat it. But me personally, I don't want to sugarcoat it, because if I sugarcoat it, then that means I'm just leading you astray. I'm just too afraid to say it, and I'm not too afraid to say that if you do this and that and you die, you're going to hell. I'm not afraid, but if you continue to sin and you do not ask God to forgive you and you die, yeah, you will be going to hell. I'm not judging you or nothing. Like I said, the only way to heaven is through Jesus. No other way. So yeah, I just pray, that people realize it before it's too late, that I'm telling the truth, and that all these Christians out here are telling the truth about God. I just pray that they realize that, because the end times are coming. There's crazy stuff happening with like these earthquakes, with all the murder. I used to watch the news just to see sports, but you have to. I don't know. They literally put the sports anytime you watch sports and you try to watch it for sports for the weather, they literally put it like halfway through. Like you have to watch all these stuff about murder, stealing, all this stuff. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that stuff. So I don't watch the news because it's just too much heartbreaking and sadness and stuff. And it's really crazy to see what this world has turned into. And this world, has they've turned to the devil, when this, I'm not saying everybody has, because there's some Christians in this world, but um this world is just turned to the devil, and it's up to us to tell them about Jesus, to get them on the right path again. Um, though they may laugh at us, though they may mock us, at least we will know that we still told them about God. At least we will still know that we told them about the man who can save us, the man who can save your soul, the man who can, change your life forever and for completely, change your life completely. Um, so yeah, that's basically, what I wanted to say. I feel like the video was really good. I feel like I speak to a lot of, I don't feel like it would be this long, honestly. I don't feel like it'd be this long, honestly. Um, but yeah, that's all I want to say. Now, usually when I do, like if you're the first time visiting, if this is your first time visiting, what I do is I usually pray before I end the video. Um, so I'm just gonna pray right now. God, thank you for allowing me to do this again, Lord. Thank you for giving me another great day today, Lord. Thank you for everything, Lord, that I don't have, and thank you for everything that, Lord, that I do have. Um, Lord, I just want to pray that if there's anybody, out there, Lord, that is not a Christian, that is a sinner, Lord, and I just want to pray that if anybody watches this, Lord, and they are not a Christian, Lord, they're a sinner, Lord, I just want to pray that this video touches their heart, Lord. I just want to pray that you convict them, Lord, and become a Christian. Lord, I just want to pray that you always give me the strength to get through anything that comes my way, Lord. I just want to pray for this world, Lord. I just want to pray this world changes, Lord. I just want to pray that they turn to you, Lord, and that you become their personal Lord and Savior, Lord, and that that just changes, Lord. I just want to pray for this woman at my church, Lord. She's going through a difficult time, Lord. I just want to pray that you heal her of what she's going through, Lord. She feels like she's about to go on diabetes, Lord, that she's about to have, go on sugar pills, Lord, diabetes. And I just want to pray that you heal her of what she's going through, Lord. I just want to pray for my friend, Lord, on Facebook, Lord. He lost his dad recently. I just want to pray that you comfort him and be with him, Lord, in this time, in his struggle, Lord. I just want to pray for somebody at my church, Lord. They lost their wife, Lord. I just want to pray that you comfort him in this time of need, Lord. I just want to pray, Lord, that you help me that you give me the strength to get through the rest of this week, Lord. I just want to pray for anybody that's watching this, Lord. I just want to pray that you comfort them, Lord. Give them strength to get through this week, Lord. Give them strength to get through anything that they go through in their life, Lord. And I just want to thank you again, Lord, for always loving me, always showing me how much you care. I just want to thank you, Lord, for dying on the cross for me, for paying the ultimate price for me. Not just for me, but for everybody in this world, Lord. Amen. Yeah, thank you so much. God bless everybody that's watching this, and God bless everyone. Um, and if you have any, always welcome to like anybody that's wanting to like talk to me. Keep on talking to me. Continue to talk to me. You're welcome to like look up my Facebook, and it's Tay Gross is the same as YouTube. You're welcome to continue to talk to me. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me on there. And I'll be happy to answer them. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for the, you know who you are, but thank you for the person that continued to, talk and comment. That really helped the video out. That really helped me have something to talk about. And I feel like, that helped me a lot. So thank you for that. And God bless you for that too. And like I said, I love everybody that watches it. I love everyone. And I love the people that watched it. So thank you. I love you guys. I love you guys. Just have a wonderful day. I just pray that you have a wonderful day. And God bless all of you.